What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if The Wolf Among Us 2 will be shown at the Game Awards 2020. So this is a fun one. I'm really excited to talk about this. I've seen a lot of people. I did a thing on Twitter a few days ago, and I asked people, what is something you want to see at the Game Awards? And I was shocked by how many people actually said The Wolf Among Us 2. This is a franchise that I love. I adore. The first one. I mean, okay, it's only one game. Obviously, it's based off of other stuff, and I didn't even the source material. I didn't even know about. I didn't really even care about leading into that first game, but my God, Telltale, I think, did a phenomenal job with it. And then obviously, right, we had Wolf Among Us 2 being shown last year's Game Awards. So I think, honestly, for some of these, there's big reasons, I would say, why people expect or want the thing to be shown. And for Wolf Among Us 2, I feel like it's and I understand it. I actually am on board with you guys, that I think it kind of is like a natural, I don't know, like storytelling thing where, I can truly picture. I can see Jeff Keighley's face, that handsome face of his, and he comes up and he says, we showed you the first look at Wolf Among Us 2 last year. Let's take another look in and let's see, what they have, in store or something, some sort of monologue that he gives, and then he hands it over and they do something. I truly could see it. So I'm going to talk about that in this video, maybe what we would see if we were going to see it, all stuff like that. Before I jump too far in, though, I do just want to say, well, number one, if you do like this kind of content, I made loads of Game Awards videos, and we're going to be keeping it rolling over the next 2 weeks. In fact, 2 weeks today is the Game Awards. Oh, by the way, happy Thanksgiving to all of the American viewers here. Truly, happy Thanksgiving. I'm recording these all, previously. I'm not doing it this day. So I'm enjoying, hopefully I'm enjoying Thanksgiving. I hope all of you guys are too. But if you guys are, make sure you guys are leaving that like. Make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon. Also, if you guys are not subscribed to my second channel, Podcast Now Plus, I'll leave a link for it in the description below. If you guys want to check that out, I do daily videos on that channel, which are pretty different, I would say, than the videos I do on this channel. Okay, so again, the link for that will be in the description below. It's called Podcast Now Plus is the YouTube channel. So, okay, yeah, so let's go over, I guess, what we know about The Wolf Among Us 2, okay? We got very little last year, right? We pretty much just got confirmation that, okay, we were going to do this, right? I remember that. Remember that Telltale kind of when they did those sit-down live streams with people? I thought that was actually really, really good. They actually kind of did the whole Sony State of Play and then Nintendo, all that kind of stuff. They were doing it as well. And when they first announced Wolf Among Us 2, everybody was excited. I was excited. Obviously, then they shut down. Everybody was, everybody had different feelings about it. Let's just say that. And then we got this. So they built their company back together. They did hire some of the original people that worked for Telltale. And remember, last year when they showed that glimpse of Wolf Among Us, they specifically, because I made a video actually on it right after it came out. And the thing with it, because I didn't see all the articles, because they did the interviews after the Game Awards as well, I think with IGN, and they talked about how this is from scratch. They threw out, or they just didn't have a lot of what they were originally doing for the game. So I even said this in the video, so I thought this, other people thought this, could you just kind of pick up where you left off? Like, you already were working on it for some length of time, right? Half a year, maybe a full year. Could you just pick up there? And the short answer is no. No, they were not going to do that. They have to start completely from scratch. So I believe they said 2020, so this past year, was just a full year of working. All they were going to do was work on it. They weren't going to really say anything. They weren't going to show anything. It was not going to be released in 2020, which I thought was when they announced it, I thought it was a possibility. Then I obviously read the article and we found out it wasn't. So that's pretty much where we are. Now, how does it make sense that they would do it now? Well, basically taking what they did. So number one, they have a history at the Game Awards. And not just that, literally they were there last year, but also, like I said in the beginning of the video, it really is kind of like a chapter book, right? Where it's like, hey, we were there last. Now, you'll have to help me out, because I remember a lot of different announcements kind of all scattered throughout the history of the Game Awards, but is there a game that's ever been in, multiple of them, like a year and then the next year, to kind of say, oh, we're back and let's show you what we have? I can't think of one, so it may be the first of its kind, but yet again, I am forgetful, especially because I just kind of talk off the top of my head. I'm not looking anything up right now, so it's very possible I'm missing something. So again, let me know if I am missing something. I think this could be that game, though. You know what I mean? Because it makes sense. Where else? I mean, obviously, they could just do it on their own. And we've talked about this. For really any game, they could do it on their own. They could do it in an IGN first feature. They can do it in a Game Informer cover. I mean, there's all these possibilities for, announcing your video. And the game's already announced, so it's really like a full-on reveal is what we would be calling it, right? They could do that in any way that they want. But I just think because they were there last year, because they have this history, I don't know. I think it's like I said in the beginning, Jeff Keighley's like, hey, last year we showed it to you. They've been hard at work for literally an entire year, and now they're ready to show you more. Maybe okay, I mean, we got a trailer. I would call that, and I think they even call that, right? We got a trailer. But let's get maybe a little bit more. Maybe we get the fact that the game is coming out in 2021. That's really the end goal. I do think the game is releasing in 2021. Now, you could say that was always the plan. Maybe that always was the plan, and then it got delayed because of the stuff that happened around the world. I want this game. I really, if you think about it, this year has been pretty not great for episodic games. There really, there was a few. One of the ones that stood out to me was Don't Nod's Tell Me Why, right? I think that's the only full-on episodic game. Like all the episodes came out in the year this year. I can't think of any others, and I think there were other episodic ones, but not like the full thing. This was a year without Life is Strange. This was a year without Telltale games, right? So when we first built Podcast Now, the channel, when I first built Podcast Now, a lot of it was on episodic stuff. I played Life is Strange. I played Telltale's Game of Thrones. I played Telltale's Tales from the Borderlands, which, by the way, that's a phenomenal game as well, right? So, I miss these games. I really, really do. I think they have I honestly feel like they make a big difference in the gaming industry. I think they have, their place in it. And so I just think it makes sense. Like I said, I think the end goal is the game releasing. And by the way, maybe not the full game, because we also don't know how many episodes. Remember, there always has been talks, or there's been talks for the last little while, maybe it's just a full game. Maybe they stopped doing the episodic things. So, even Don't Nod, they've kind of gone back and forth. Tell Me Why was only 3 episodes. Life is Strange, obviously, was 5. But they've had Twin Mirror, which is like a full-length game that they're just having as a game. So they're kind of all over the place. Telltale could very well do the exact same. There wasn't The Walking Dead. That was only 3 or 4 episodes, right? So that one was a lot, reduced from what it normally was. So we're in an age where it doesn't have to be 5 episodes. They're each, say, 2 hours long. I liked the consistency back in the day. Telltale never had consistency in general. It was more like Don't Nod. Don't Nod with the first Life is Strange, I think, was about as consistent with an episodic game that you could ever be. It was pretty much every 2 to 3 months, and there was no changing. Actually, I think it was every 2 months, and then the last 2 episodes came out 1 month apart. So that was very consistent. And then each episode was around 2.5 hours to beat, around 2 to 3 hours. Very, the Walking Dead games, one could be an hour, one could be 3 hours, one could take a year to make, one could take 3 months. There was no, there was absolutely, Guardians of the Galaxy had issues. All of these games had a lot of problems, right? I know I'm picking on them now. I just want this. I really do want Wolf Among Us 2 or Season 2, whatever you want to call it. I think it's going to be honestly, I think it could be really, really good. It'd be a cross-generation game, right? Which we never really, I never really put much stock into that when they showed it last year, but at this point, now we're in 2021, I think it would be pretty weird if you only had it on PS4 and Xbox One, right? So, I don't know. I'm keeping this at the whole point is will it be at the Game Awards? I'm putting this as a possible. Really, it really is, because it's already been there. So it's is a game of this magnitude, right? We always talk about like a Dying Light 2 or a Gotham Knights. Okay, does this size of a game fit the Game Awards? Well, we don't even have to ask ourselves that for Wolf Among Us 2, because it was there, right? So we know that it fits that kind of structure. The question is, would Jeff Keighley want to have the exact same game from the exact same developer, publisher? Would they want to have it there 2 times in a row? To me, that's the only question. I think it makes sense, because because it's not like it was a Fast and Furious Crossroads, right, where nobody liked it. And it's hey, let's bring them out again for the DLC. No, you know what I mean? It's like, this is a game that so many people are interested in. It was one of the biggest things last year, and it's like, I don't really think anybody, if you said, like, do you want Wolf Among Us there? Who's really going to say no to that? You know what I mean? So I'm going to put it at a likely / like it could be. It's definitely more likely than some of the ones, like GTA that I've talked about, right? I think it's maybe less likely than other ones we've said, but I do think it's probably somewhere right there in the middle. Either way, I'm definitely going to be covering Wolf Among Us 2 as it gets closer. It's definitely a game I'm super passionate about, so we'll have loads of stuff on the game leading into it, when the game is out, all that stuff. So again, if you guys like that, make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. Again, my second channel is called Podcast Now Plus. If you guys want to subscribe there, it'd be much appreciated. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. Let's cross our fingers, hope for Wolf Among Us 2 at the Game Awards, and we'll just go from there, okay? Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you all on the next video.